going on, guys? It's your man Royalty. We're here today,
And I am the sensual genius,
and welcome to
the Royal
Real
Genius
Genius
Reviews.
Reviews. Today, we're going to be doing 3 movies in one. So we'll be talking about
Yeah,
Secret Society 1,
2D movies.
Secret Society 2, and
And
Anything's Possible.
which is on on Amazon Video.
Yes.
Which comparing both because they're
Yes.
both movies about trans people.
Mhm.
Honestly, Secret Society. What was the purpose of it?
I don't know.
I didn't learn anything from them
I did not
except
learn
that they
anything.
shot for Fashion Nova. And she
And you guys, it's just like it really painted trans people in a bad light to me.
Yeah, it did.
It was
Because they
this,
were using guys. It was more so like that, like, the modern prostitution culture. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like
right,
dating rich niggas,
right.
trying to secure your life.
Football players, basketball players,
Yeah,
running in them circles type things.
right.
So the if you could call it a plot, the plot of Secret Society is 2 friends that are trans
Mhm.
running in these rich circles and getting men and dressing with outrageous outfits and hoping that the guys don't find out that
That
they're
they're
trans.
trans. Right.
That's the plot of both
And
movies.
they're like
Except
stealing from these men and everything, even though they're getting everything they want. She took that picture of that dude's credit card. He came back and beat her up for it. And she was like, "Did he find out that he would have killed me? He found out that I stole from him. He would have killed you if you stole from him. What you mean?
right, right.
Stealing
Uh
from him."
and the second movie was kind of the same plot, except for the friend was dead and she's her
Yeah.
kind of like guardian angel type
Guardian
of thing.
angel.
But it didn't work.
Let me tell you, that is not how it happens in real life. It's not. It is and it's not at the same time. Number one, your guardian angel is not gonna show up every time you want them to.
What happened to if you believe in the great beyond, right? You had to acquire some kind of wisdom to be there. Why is she still letting you do the same stupid shit that she was doing before?
That and also it would just be, "Well, what am I gonna do? They're gonna find out that I'm not a woman or whatever." And she would just pop up and be like, "Look, you gonna do this, you gonna do that, and everything gonna be good." And I'm like, no, everything ain't about to be good.
Right,
She literally
right.
playing with people's life.
It
And
was
then
Go ahead, go ahead.
and then it's and then she keeps panicking about it, and I'm just like, if it's such a burden, because obviously it was a burden on her. At least that's how I guess that was what how they wanted to portray that character or whatever. Like it was a burden because she hiding it, but she want people to know, but at the same time she's afraid of people knowing because she's afraid that they're gonna do something to her or whatever. And in the first movie, they had already got on bad sides of these 2 guys who were like supposed to be gangsters. Who one was portrayed by what's the dude, Jeremy Meeks, the one that got
Yeah,
famous from
yeah.
that
So I'm
mugshot.
gonna put a picture of him in here. Y'all all wanna know who we talk about when you see him. Like
Him and then his brother or whatever,
he
and
cannot act.
at all.
He cannot act at all.
Bro, you got to see him he on a lot more of those movies. You got to see.
He's just a pretty face. That's it.
That's it. 100%. But and not even that, because I'd be like, get this nigga off the screen.
I
But
feel
yeah,
like
like they on their bad sides already. So you already gotta look over your back because you betrayed these men and they're pissed at you. But they weren't really worried about that the whole time. It's just, I want to find somebody to love me. Like, love me, love me. I want to find somebody that loves
but by
me.
the time you get to that point in the movie where he's talking about that, it's stupid because you done played all these niggas. So where was you
Right.
looking for love at this point? You was playing all of these niggas. Now you want love?
Mhm.
I feel like it was disrespectful to the trans community in so many
It
things, so many
was.
ways. Like, and now the fact that I know that neither one of the
They're IG models. I know you. I don't know, but I've seen them plenty of
again,
times. I've seen both of them plenty of times.
the computer might crash out. I'm not sure yet though. I'll let you
Hopefully,
know.
it won't.
Okay. Yeah. Neither one of them being trans is like
And
disrespectful.
then having a trans person being a part of the production, the directing
Right.
and stuff like that, and just letting this slide. But that's also too just because a person represents something in the LGBTQ plus community, whatever, does not mean that they are going to be on the side of what the majority want, what the majority thinks is right. Because some people let a lot of that stuff slide, and I think that it's like you can't be trans, you can't be a part of the LGBT community in any capacity and not advocate for the community. It doesn't work like that, especially because the community, it gets so much hate and it's represented in such a negative light all of the time. So you can't just sit back and allow stuff like this to be put out, this type of media to be put out, because
Did,
you're adding on to the bad reputation that people are already giving. Not
didn't you
to
say
say that you should care.
didn't you say it was written by a trans woman?
I don't know if it was written by, but I know she was a producer, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Amaya Scott, Amaya, um
Oh, the one that you sent me the video of.
and I think Amaya was like when social media first started blowing, she was like one of those very popular trans women.
She said something that a trans, well, not her, but the main character in the movie said something that a trans person would never say. If you really believe that you're trans and you really believe that you're a woman, you would never say, "I'm a boy." What was the purpose of that? It sounded like it was written by somebody that wanted to tell a story about trans people but doesn't know anything about trans
I
people.
don't get why you would I don't get why you would do that.
The way
Even
she said it too.
even in a way, like if it was a person who didn't like the trans community or had some type of hate toward them or whatever, why would you tell a story about them? That's a biased perspective.
Very much so. It didn't make sense in so many different points. Literally, it just felt like a outrageous fashion show.
That's exactly what it was. And to me, that's more drag queen, not trans women.
Right. But after watching a show, and this could be the perfect transition into talking about anything is possible. After seeing a show like Pose, where everybody that was portrayed as trans on that show is trans. So
Mm.
there's a whole bunch of talented actresses that could have played these roles. You couldn't pick one of them?
Couldn't afford one of them.
Because
This was Tubi.
they're all great actresses. They could kill it, but you know what? I think if they would have got them, they wouldn't have been a part of this.
Mm-mm.
They've been
The
like, this
story
is
was trash. Like, what was the point? What was the point of this movie? Secret Society. Where was the society? It was just two girls. Like,
exactly
what was the point? There was no point of this movie. That's what I say when it comes to those Tubi movies. It's like, what are you telling this story for? What's the point? If there's no point, then you shouldn't be creating the movie.
exactly.
And I think that's where they be dropping the ball.
They really did. It was, and you told me to watch it, so I'm trying to watch it. I saw the clip on TikTok before you had told me about it. I'm like, well, I might watch this and see what it's about. But it just went from it. It just never got better. It was like
At the second part was terrible.
awful.
Having that girl come back as like an angel was stupid.
And you would think that a movie that had Vivica A. Fox in it
She was in that movie for 2 minutes.
She was the best actress in the entire series. Best hands down.
She
Nobody
was, and
close.
she literally was on the screen for 2 seconds.
She carried the scenes that she was in.
Yeah, then girl, that whiny girl, which one, Tina? She was, she got on my nerves. She was always complaining about something. Like,
Yeah.
bruh, this is a lifestyle you created. Like, y'all created this lifestyle of dating these niggas with money and things so y'all can get money and things. Now all of a sudden you want you a good man. You
It
want
don't
somebody to
work like
accept you.
that.
But that's how it is in real life. They really live, there be that group of women that live like that for real.
And they
It's
want
like, oh,
love.
I only want niggas with money. Like, you gotta have money, but also I want you to love me and I want you to feel like this. It's like that don't go together.
At all.
They don't go together.
You putting that kind of energy out there, it don't work like that.
Right.
But the transition to the Pose, Billy Porter was the one that directed Anything's Possible.
It said
And the,
Jamal Hill was the director of
he
Secret
was
Society.
oh okay. And then Billy Porter is one of the characters that was in Pose.
Mhm.
He's an advocate for the LGBTQ community. He's been doing it for years. Fantastic singer.
Mhm.
I don't know if you listened to his music
I don't think I
before.
ever heard him sing.
Man can blow, like for real. Like he could sing.
I'll check him out.
And he performer too. Like I want to see him do Broadway. Like he's good, bro.
I can see him doing Broadway.
Yeah. I think he did do Broadway before, but I would love if he does a play again, like I would love to see him do something. But this story, oh, you could break down the plot if you want to for this one.
Anything's possible. It's basically about, and I liked that it was a teenager. This teenage trans girl who is, she's basically like going through, it was a normal story about, like, let's take out the trans part. It was a normal story about a teenage girl going through high school and dealing with like the things that you go through, that anybody would go through in high school. She just so happened to be a trans girl.
Right.
And to me, it worked because it was that simple. They didn't make it about her being trans. That came up.
Exactly.
It came up, of course, because she's a trans girl, but like they didn't make it about that. It wasn't always that being the topic. Like, we really got to see her fall in love with this guy and like dealing with the things that came along with it. It was just a cute, innocent story about these two kids
Falling in love with each
falling in
other.
love with each other.
It was very simple. Her being trans was not even a plot point, really. It was just
Right.
who she was.
Right.
Like, and my favorite part was the rule that she had with her mom called the law of averages, which meant that she couldn't ask her mom couldn't ask her anything that she wouldn't ask a normal child.
I love that as well. And just that relationship she had with her mom, and like her mom giving her the space to be her without it being like this dark cloud. Because I feel like in families that's kind of how it's seen, that's how it's treated or whatever. Even though her mom definitely had some fears about certain things that were going on or whatever. Like, for instance, she was doing social media and she was posting videos about her journey as a trans girl, and her mom, when she saw it, it scared her. She wanted her to take it off the computer, whatever. And her even taking it down made more sense than her taking a stance and being like, no, I'm not going to do it, this is who I am, because it was more realistic, number one. And number two, her mom had a great point.
And her mama was a black mama, and you don't go against black mama.
Exactly.
So the way she said it, that was realistic. Take it down, that's it.
Right. And she had a great point, because what she was worried about was just people harassing her, like her life becoming harder because she's putting her journey out there or whatever. And like she said, any crazy person could get it in their heads to they want to hurt you or whatever, and then they can track you down and do that.
Exactly. Exactly. The main character is a girl named Eva Rain, a young, fantastic actress.
Yeah,
I
she's
can't
an
wait to see
amazing
her.
actress.
I can't wait to see her in more stuff. I'm a fan already. The
Also, the guy that was there was her play her boyfriend was also a great actor.
great. He's in something else too. I think that we both watched, but I can't remember what it was.
Really? I can't remember either if he
But
was.
I gotta look it up. But another plot point that was important to me was the two friends.
Hmm.
And it shows you the spectrum of people that are out there in today's world. That the one friend who says, I'm your friend until something happens
Hmm.
and turned on her so fast because she ended up getting with the boy that she liked.
But even though her being trans, because it was kind of like, how could you get the dude, the guy that I like? It also was normal girl stuff. It wasn't. I don't think that her being trans was a part of it because she was trans, but I don't feel like that was like it wasn't the necessarily like driving point of that whole thing. That altercation between the two of them was literally something that would happen between girls, like girls in everyday life or whatever. Like they're in everyday life, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
It was something that would have just happened, regardless of whether she was trans or not, because things like that happen with girls. Like we like the same boy, and he chooses you
exactly.
over me, and I'm mad at you for it.
The only part that was related to her being trans was her flipping out and saying, "Oh,
The way
she
that
hit me.
the
She
way that
hit
she
me.
went about
I
things
don't feel comfortable with her being in the bathroom
in the
with me."
bathroom, that's what made it. That's what heightened that issue because it was like now you're using the things that are against me to hurt me. Like you're using this system that you were fighting for. She claiming to be a feminist and like you're about women's
Exactly.
rights and all of this stuff. But the system that you are fighting against, you're using that same system as a weapon to hurt me because something happened because I can't even say because she hurt her. Something happened. The boy ended up liking her. He ended up choosing her. She didn't go after this boy. She
Exactly.
tried to avoid him.
The boy pursued her the whole time.
She tried to avoid him for a while. It took her a while to say yeah to him or whatever it is. It got to a point where she was like, why am I sacrificing what I want for somebody who doesn't even respect me?" Because after that girl did that to her, I could never be friends with somebody like that again. Because you call yourself a feminist, and that's another thing that women need to understand. Real women, as y'all like to call it, need to understand is you call
Cis
yourself a
women.
feminist, you call yourself for women's rights or whatever, and you feel like trans women's rights don't fall under that, it's stupid. It really actually doesn't make sense. It's contradicting. And to use the same system that you're fighting against to hurt a trans woman for whatever reason, for instance, like the Jess Hilarious thing. It was brought up that Jess Hilarious has gotten cheated on by men who were attracted to trans women. So that was probably why she feels the way that she feels about it or whatever. But
That's her insecurity.
I don't understand what that has to do with them.
Nothing.
And what does that change? A man who likes trans women is still a straight man. He's still a heterosexual man. What does it doesn't change anything. He still is attracted to women.
They don't understand that though.
How do you not understand it?
People can't grasp that thing because, oh well, they were born a boy
And
and
when he looks at them, he sees a woman. He's attracted
exactly.
to a woman.
But they don't. They will never be able to grasp that concept. And if you're fighting for women's rights, then trans rights
Trans
are
rights
women's
are
rights.
women's rights.
It's
So it's hypocritical and it's contradicting to go to use the same system that you're fighting against to hurt a trans woman because you're hurt because there's something that happened that indirectly or directly has to do with them, because trans women do not have the power to take womanhood from you.
They don't. They don't.
The people that are taking womanhood from you are these niggas that are hyping y'all up. I'm so happy that y'all finally see what we've been talking about, and y'all come on. They still hate you though.
And that
they still hate you. They still voted on a bill that takes away your rights as a woman. And now they're celebrating you for
that begs the question: what defines womanhood and what defines your manhood? Is it what between your legs? Is the womanhood that the fact that you bleed? Because I look at a woman and that's not all I see. Y'all are so much more. But you want to boil the argument down to I have a period and she doesn't. I
think womanhood is defined by our essence, your essence as a woman. It has nothing to do with biology, what you look like and what you have between your legs or whatever, but it's your essence. We understand that the difference between it. I hate saying feminine and masculinity because I feel like those words annoy me at this point. Manhood and womanhood annoy me at this point as well. I'm sick of hearing it. I feel like it's your essence as a woman. The thing that you have that men don't have. And the same for men. Manhood is defined by your essence as a man. Those qualities that you have that women don't have.
It's easy, simple, and plain. It's not
the thing that keeps the balance.
It's very easy. It's very simple, but people want to make it complicated. It's not what's between your legs. It's not what your body can do, or it's not the fact that I go up and stand up when I go pee. That does not make me a man.
It's their prejudice. It's not necessarily even them wanting to complicate it. It's just the fact that they're prejudiced against trans people and they just don't want them to exist.
And ignorant to a point, because willfully ignorant though at this point.
Yeah, because
the knowledge is out there. The knowledge is there.
It's not even really that they don't know the difference or they can't understand it. They refuse to. They have made up in their minds that it's wrong, it's not acceptable, so they can't see past that. And it's really counterproductive to even talk to people who have that mindset. They literally let them, those women who was fighting with Jess Hilarious have always felt that way about trans women. Jess Hilarious has always felt that way about trans women. Women who support trans women, it does not matter what a trans woman says. I am still going to support trans women. One person is not going to make me be like, now y'all going too far. I'm not supporting any of y'all. I'm always going to support trans women because I've always supported trans women. People who supported Jess when she started that whole thing were always women who had prejudice against trans people.
I feel like
trans women, because I feel like trans men don't get that much heat.
They really don't. It's really towards
because of the patriarch. Because even in the system where you are being hateful against them, it is still in that same system that you're supposedly fighting against. You're still using the standards, the principles from that system to fight against. You're still using it as a weapon.
Yeah.
What's hard about that?
They don't get it. I think some of them are just ignorant too, but these things spark a thing and it makes pointless, stupid arguments.
It does.
And every time, well, do you believe that they have a period? Did the period? It's just why is this an argument?
My nigga, I'm not fighting over no period. They can have periods. Why are y'all fighting over things that have periods literally they're not gifts. They're not God gifts to us. What are y'all even talking about?
If
they can literally have it.
if you believe in the Bible, then that's your punishment, literally, from Eve.
Literally, it's a punishment. Y'all be sounding so dumb to me. And that still exists within the patriarch. Still, it's still a principle that was created by the patriarch to make women seem, basically make us seem like villains. Like, oh, Eve ate the apple off the tree, so now y'all gotta have praise. That's your punishment because you women always doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. It's still, it still supports the hate that men have toward us. That's actually the first story that sparked the hate that men have toward us, bro. The first one. And y'all love using that argument. These niggas still gonna cheat on you with trans women.
I think that's the craziest part of all of that to me is y'all are pulling out of the patriarch playbook every single time.
Every single time
y'all feed into this. Y'all are literally working against your own interest by going against trans people.
Stupid.
Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you fighting this argument?
Because they prejudiced. That's why.
And then you get people like Ryan Davis that was saying we've been trying to protect your women. When have these niggas really been trying to protect women? When have y'all really been trying to bring?
We so happy that y'all finally see it. Like, y'all finally see what we was talking about. Okay, if y'all want these niggas, and they be the pick-me's.
I have not seen, and there may be some trans people out here that are doing the most and trying to.
Yeah, there's some there's some that have opinions that I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But in my mind, you're just saying this because you're mad. But I don't care how many trans women I see saying anything about y'all just mad because we look more like women to y'all than y'all, and still saying stuff like that does not faze me.
I feel like that's when I told you I had a discussion with the girl yesterday, I said that's a vocal minority. We can't pay attention to those people. Just like there's a vocal minority of Black people that are going to say conservative things. Do they speak for all of us?
Exactly.
No.
And you're not going to stop supporting Black people because those people say that they support Trump.
Exactly. They could be stupid. They speak for themselves.
It don't faze me because it literally does not affect you. But you feeling the way that you feel about them affects them. It's the same as racism. How do y'all not understand it? It's the same as reverse racism is not a thing. It does not affect white people when Black people are prejudiced against them, but it affects us. It largely affects us. Racism largely affects us.
Big time.
It's the same thing. But y'all don't see it because y'all don't want to. That's it.
Y'all keep playing from this playbook, and trans people are all of us as a whole are going to be held back from true progression and freedom.
This always going to be the thing, the weapon. That's always going to be our downfall, the infighting, the hate that we have toward each other that they've given us. They literally gave us a tool to use against each other to help them. And it's always going to be our downfall. And I don't think that it's ever going to get better. I think it's just going to keep getting worse. We're going to keep splitting up into these small groups, and we're never going to be together because you have Black people that have adopted this Eurocentric belief systems that they feel are Afrocentric, and they're not. But y'all are so brainwashed that this is what y'all believe.
We're going to talk about that on the podcast. I want to break it down because there's a whole lot of stuff that you think is Afrocentric that is Euro. We pull out of that so deep that pretty much everything that we consider manhood is
literally
driven from that. You be pulling out this bag.
I saw a dude in the comment section when there was this guy on social media that had went viral for taking this kid's plate off the table, his stepson plate off the table, and pouring it, dumping it on the ground outside because the woman, his wife, fixed the child's food before she fixed his. And there were men who were speaking out against it and telling him that he was stupid for doing it or whatever, and he's soft and all this stuff. And then I saw a dude under the comments like, we men need to go back to being what men are supposed to be. You're not supposed to accept this. He's supposed to eat first. And you know what? I'm so sick of that argument. You know what? The Black community as a whole, y'all are getting on my nerves because y'all be fighting about stuff that does not matter. If everybody is eating, why does it matter who's eating first? Who is really sick enough in their heads to be like, I can't believe you fixed the kids' food before me. You're a bad wife. You're a bad mama. You're a bad wife. You supposed to fix my food first. I'm the king. I pay the bills around here. You sick in your head.
That's the craziest thing to me, and I hate it. I've never cared about anything like that. Please feed these babies first.
It be
Because that's
so. Go ahead.
babies first, kids first to me, period. Easy thing because they kids. They kids. You
And
supposed to take care of them.
they don't have the self-control that you have. So when you hungry, you can wait for your food because you're an adult and you have the self-control to do that. But kids do not.
Exactly. When it's time to eat, they see food, they want to eat. They hungry. They've been
Exactly.
waiting since the last time they ate, which a lot of times is 3-4 hours sitting there smelling that food, and you gonna sit at the table and then that's torture.
And 3-4 hours to kids is not the same as 3-4 hours to
Exactly.
us.
They sitting there like, I was in dinner, and you gonna feed the kid. It's easy. Feed the baby first.
I
Why
just
does it
feel
matter?
like in our community, these fights, these meaningless arguments and stuff stem from the lack of control that we feel. I feel like men feel a lack of control. They feel like they're not in control of anything because nobody won't listen to them. Nobody accepts their opinions. Nobody cares about how they feel. And rightfully so. I understand how y'all feel. Yeah, we should care more about men's feelings and what y'all want, what y'all think, how y'all are doing. Something as simple as that. But that does not give you the right to act like you don't got no sense, bruh. It don't.
That's that's clown stuff to sit there and take a child's plate away. You should feel horrible about yourself for
And
even doing anything like that.
they feel like he was justified because he's a man.
So, and what does that teach the child? That they are less of a human being than you are.
Mhm.
Because all human beings deserve that same respect, and that's what you're supposed to be teaching them. You're supposed to be respected like this.
But
I'm,
if we being real, men think that we are less of human beings. Children and women are less of human beings than them. They do believe that they are supposed to be on the top of the totem pole when it comes to everything. Their needs need to be met. And now that they're in this climate where women do not care about meeting their needs, they're having temper tantrums. It's like how I mean, like women have been going without their needs getting met for centuries. And if
I,
we're being real, still, we only meeting our own needs now, and y'all
I
don't like it.
I do agree that like we need to hear each other out more on both sides, men and women. We need to be more understanding. It needs to be okay for your man to be sensitive and all of that, but that's not how you go about getting that.
At all.
You need to just find somebody that's understanding because some of these women are never going to be
And that's the
listen
thing too.
understand.
Y'all be
But
creating your own misery because of the type of women that y'all go after. This is why I don't feel bad for y'all. I understand the cry for help. I understand how y'all feel, that weight that must be on your shoulders about these things, but you have to take responsibility for this too because of the type of women that you go after. There are plenty of women who will treat you exactly how you want to be treated, but y'all don't want those women because y'all think y'all are too good for them. Y'all think that everybody has this thing where they think that they deserve specifics because y'all be saying women have unrealistic expectations. So do y'all. Y'all have very unrealistic expectations as well. All y'all care about is visuals. And that's why y'all keep ending up in situations where you in relationships where you're not happy because you
the, the
wanted to be with somebody that looked good on your arms.
the thing to me though is say you're a regular 9 to 5 man living in Compton or living in a small town or something like that. we see pictures every day of, oh, if Beyonce didn't get the money or whatever. I think it's more the glam of the visual, because there's how many beautiful women live right next door to you and you're ignoring them.
Because they not wearing 6-inch heels and
Right.
bodycon dresses all the time.
They don't have the glam. They don't
They
have the
don't got
makeup.
their nails done. And y'all claim y'all don't like any of this stuff, but y'all ignore the women who look natural like y'all claim y'all like, but y'all don't like that. I really and truly don't think that y'all know what y'all like. I think y'all just be copying whatever y'all see some other nigga do.
Right.
And that's largely the problem. Like,
Crazy.
like y'all be telling us, pick better. Pick better. No remorse, because it's like y'all be creating y'all own misery.
But going back to the movie, I wouldn't have been friends with her either after doing something like that. Because you weaponized the one thing that you knew about her that could really hurt her. You weaponized it. You filed for that. I cannot be your
Put
friend.
her life in danger too.
You could have probably survived the fight over the fact that I like the boy or whatever. Come back and say sorry, but how do you say sorry for the fact that I put your life in danger?
Put that girl life in danger. Because
So,
you couldn't believe that the dude chose her. Number one, and also my whole thing about that whole situation was, what bond, connection, or anything did she have? This was a boy she didn't even know.
you just liked him.
Somebody that she just had a crush on, and she went that far.
And didn't even make no moves towards him.
At all. She just sat there and was like, oh, he gonna come to me. But that's what you get for thinking that that boy was gonna come to you because you was that girl, I guess, in your head. Your ego got the best of you. Instead of just being honest and saying that you liked him, you sat down and expected him to come to you because you gave off the energy that you like him, because you didn't. Actually, you didn't. Like, there was no connection at all for her to react the way that she did.
For real, she acted like they was in a relationship and she stole her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, no, you just liked him.
Just this boy in passing. Somebody, you ain't even had no conversation with him.
And the other friend on the other side is an example of other people in society who
the white allies.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the boy.
The boy.
Yeah.
Who said, "Oh, I don't have no problem with gay people." If you have to preface a statement with "I'm not racist" or "I don't have a problem with," you absolutely are racist. You absolutely have a problem with. Yeah.
Follow it with a but, bro.
Yeah.
If you ain't had no problem, there wouldn't be a but.
And that friend who got mad at him, oh, so are you gay? Are you gay? Even if you are friends with somebody
who was gay,
what is that? How does that change your friendship?
That's my whole thing too. I don't. That's why the loyalty to unconditional love conversation to me is one of those ones, because if my sexuality or my sexuality, me identifying as trans or something that's not what I look like, what you visually see when you look at me, makes you stop loving me, just like this, as soon as you find out you never loved me. You never did.
I can't imagine being friends with somebody and that conversation coming up. And if you feel like the need to tell me that as my friend, I'm not even gonna break stride. Like, we're not even. I'm gay, okay?
Because it's like, why are you even telling me that?
Okay.
I don't care. Like, you still my friend. Like, what?
Exactly.
What
I
are
don't
we
change
eating for lunch
nothing
today?
Exactly. That'd be my response. So we still go to movies, right?
Right. Like, okay, you gay, ain't pass the butter.
It's not a point to me. It's not something that you need to express to me. That never mattered.
That's my whole thing when
And we
I
can
say,
still,
why does that matter? Why do you need to understand? Why is it something you need to accept? It shouldn't matter
and I think
at
at
all.
a certain point, it's because guys want to have that so-called locker room talk with their boys. Where I've never been in circles where I like that, or where I'm hitting, oh girl, you know, and oh yeah, she had the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it's because they're afraid of having those same conversations that you were having with your friend before. Now that you find out that they're gay, because now you feel really uncomfortable because you don't want to hear what he just did with his boyfriend. Like,
Why not? It's the same thing. Different, same thing, different hole. Women got that hole too. I don't get the difference.
it is no difference. That never mattered.
Because if he talking to you about his girlfriend and what you visualizing it, you visualizing your homeboy having sex with a girl, and it don't matter who what girl it is, you're visualizing your homeboy having sex with a girl. But y'all be having these rules about what's gay and what's not. But the stuff that y'all be doing and passing be gayer than the stuff that y'all be saying is gay to me. Like you thinking about your friend having sex with anybody is weird. I don't think about my friends having sex with anybody. I don't I my friends significant others don't even have a face. I can't tell you how them people look.
And that's the thing, they visualize it. Now, it's a difference between having a healthy conversation with your friend
Right.
and breaking it down and like, hey, yeah, it was really like I
Y'all
enjoyed
jacking
I
off to y'all homeboys having sex with it. That is what we need to be talking about.
right,
Not his sexuality. We need to be talking about why you think it's cool for you to be jacking off to your homeboy having sex with a girl.
right. It could be a regular healthy conversation like I think you and I would have about that.
Right.
I really enjoyed it. It was really like, and surprisingly, this and this. I'm not gonna be looking like one in the person that you just told me about. Like,
Right.
oh, let me.
Or looking at me any different. We have conversations like this sweet, like just regularly, and there's no thought about it. But if people were to hear us talk about certain things, there would be how y'all talking like that to each other, and there's no feelings at all.
I literally with felt so comfortable with you and Van that I showed y'all my sex toy.
Hey, I'll pull in mine out.
Right. I'm just like, so yeah, I'm
The
mad. It's
same
not.
thing.
It don't look
Why
black.
can't friendships be like that? I have no conversations about I mean, I have no thought, no imagine no I'm not imagining anything that you're doing when it comes to what we talk about. So the fact that y'all are doing that is weird.
Exactly. Ex-
It's weird and that's what we need to talk about
People
rather than
can't
somebody's sexuality.
because they can't do it without this. Just
You're
have a
mad because
conversation.
you can't visualize that nigga having sex with his boyfriend? You literally can. You probably do. That's why you mad. That's why you uncomfortable.
A lot of times, the people that are the most vocal about it really are not comfortable with their sexuality. The get so angry when to turn off the TV. I just can't see the kitchen. Why? Why does it bother you so much?
I ain't gonna lie. Once upon a time, I didn't like seeing nobody kissing. I'm getting better at it. I just didn't like seeing kissing. It's like, what are y'all doing that for?
I don't like the. I don't know where it's weird.
It's not
The
sexy. Kissing ain't like,
the white people sex scenes to me
oh, I
when
hate
they
that
the
too.
little skinny lips kissing and then they do that fake.
Yeah, I was about to
What
say
are you
that.
doing?
Where they're like, this part of their face disappear and they just merge into they sink into each other. I'm like,
What are you doing? I don't like those. There's some where it actually look passionate, where it's actually like lip nibbling and stuff like that. Okay, this like seemed like a real kiss.
bro, you don't gotta do nothing but stare at each other. You got me. And I can see that energy going back and forth. Y'all just looking at each other. I like stuff like that's the type of stuff that I'm into. I don't like the way that y'all like looking at people do stuff. I can't get with it.
This is could
Because
be a
it doesn't have a for me I need to feel like there's a connection. Even if it's a movie or something like that. I need to feel like there's like emotional attachment like but like physically just seeing people have sex It don't do nothing to me.
Right. A lot of times movies do it with no build up. That
Right.
that
And I hate it's
only works if you're telling a story about somebody like a nympho or something like that, and they just don't
it's
care.
like, for instance, that movie, that Tyler Perry movie, the one of the few ones that I liked, was it not Temptation, but it was a Zane book. Matter of fact, it wasn't Tyler Perry, it was Zane Addicted, I think.
I don't think I've seen
If
that.
you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. That was a good one.
It's good.
Yeah, it was really good. But that where she just was having sex with these random niggas. Because I feel like sex in certain things don't make sense because it's just sex. There's no purpose for it. And I know people like, you know, it don't got to be a purpose for people to have sex. It do though.
They gotta push
It should be. It should
if,
be.
if it's shown on screen. That's the thing that people gotta
Yeah,
realize. Everything that's shown on screen needs to have a purpose behind it.
exactly.
Otherwise, why are you showing this on screen? It could be the fact that she's an nympho. What story are you telling with this? Oh, they're so in love. Now you're just doing it for the shock factor a lot of the times
E-
because you got two attractive
exactly.
people and
Just having sex.
they're willing to show their bodies. That's it.
Exactly. There needs to be a reason for why they're having sex. I feel like in any media, even if you're writing a book, like for instance, my characters in my books don't just be having sex. That sex be by they drive it, it's driving the story forward. It's not just, oh, we together, we having sex. Even with couples, I don't do sex scenes where it doesn't have a meaning to it. Apology sex, let's deepen this connection sex. I'm controlling you sex. I'm just doing this to control you sex.
They a lot of times on screen they do a lot of just because sex.
Just because sex.
This
We
is
both we
the last
fine and we in the mood. Let's just have sex.
exactly the last scene could literally have nothing to do with that. Boom, they're having sex. Next scene they're in the movies. Like, what? How did what it
That's really happy.
it just be one scene, like these two scenes don't have nothing to do with each other. It's just you literally threw this into nowhere, like y'all gonna have sex. Okay.
Sex movies. Sex again.
uh but I really feel like uh I, well, okay. So since we're gonna do ratings, I want to do that for the quick review too. Secret Society, what would you rate 1 and 2 together? Since they're both pretty much a continuous story.
I give Secret Society a 5, and I'm only giving it a 5 because the quality was great, amazing. All they had, all the equipment. There wasn't any like technical errors or a lot of technical errors and stuff like that. It was just the acting, that storyline, and all of that other stuff. But like the quality was good, so that's why you're getting a 5 from me.
I kind of want to give it a 4, but that's the only reason why I would have to give it a 5 too, because I base
Yeah.
things on visuals too. And all of this, because none of this is going to the acting, none of this is going to the story. It's just literally because you made a movie that
It was pretty.
looked like a
Looked
good
good. It
movie.
was appealing.
Right.
And
Visually appealing.
to most people, that's all they need.
But the story points were missing. The story points that were there were flimsy. The acting was terrible. Like, it had two good actors in there, and they both got like 2 seconds of screen time.
And it's like you need to at least have one question when you're doing a movie, TV show, whatever. What is the point? Why am I writing this movie? Why am I creating this movie? Why I'm creating this story? What's the point? Because if there's no point, it's gonna show. It's gonna show in the movie in the final product.
So, anything's possible. What would you rate it?
I give Anything Is Possible a 9, honestly. I loved it. It was cute.
I think I probably give it a 9.5. It was entertaining. I was entertained
Mhm,
from front to back. I
mhm.
don't think I can see anything I would really change. It was just a
Me
sweet
neither.
little cute love
It was cute.
story.
It was a regular story,
Yeah,
which is
it's
more needed.
right. It, the law of averages was my favorite part. You know, like treat me like a normal kid because she's a normal kid.
She absolutely. And the fact that they didn't make it about her being trans. Of course, like I said, it came up, of course, because she is trans, but it wasn't just about that. We were just watching like a normal, like the thousands of movies out there about these teenagers having a relationship in their adolescence years. That's what it was, and it was beautiful. Just being that
Very
simple.
beautiful.
You really just need it to be that simple.
It was very beautiful, very entertaining,
What do
cute.
you think the point was of that movie?
Tell a love story, a kid's love story.
Exactly. The point was to show a love story between two teenagers, and she one of the characters just so happened to be trans. And to me, because of that, the point is that trans people are normal people. They have normal lives.
Can we just say that for real? Trans people are
Are
people.
They're people. They're normal
They're
people.
just people. They want to go through relationships. You are trying to make it seem like that these trans are trying to have an ulterior motive. They just want to live their
What
lives.
is the what ulterior motive? This is not Phineas and Ferb. They are not Perry the Platypus and Doofus Mercs.
Never seen it, so I can't.
You gotta
But
watch it, bro.
me having a trans daughter, I know everyday life, she just wants to be loved. She wants to be in love with a boy. She wants to just like any average everyday girl, because she is any average everyday girl that wants to be with somebody else, just like you do, just like you. They want love. They want to be in a relationship.
Mhm.
Who
But
only thing
they're
that
denied that because of hate, because y'all are hateful. And I don't, and the hate, well, I ain't gonna say I don't understand what hate stems from. It stems from, uh, we call it colonism,
colonialism? Is that what it is?
colonialism.
Yeah, yeah, it really
Because that
does.
is not Black culture. That's not Afrocentric. Hating, any type of hate isn't us.
I
Y'all just
feel
a
like
y'all just adopting their like beliefs and principles and saying that it's Black culture and it's not. Y'all don't even know what Black culture
we
is.
don't really know what our own culture is,
We don't.
and we got to start talking to people that still live over there and finding out where our roots come from. And I think I told you I
Over
had,
there, it's the same way. They see things the same way too, but because of the same reason.
and that's why there's so many wars happening over there. But now people are actually trying to take it back. You know, now they're fighting to take it back, and the white people are getting scared because
I
they
see
act
they doing that in Hawaii too. I'm like,
kick them
they
out,
say Americans are our enemies. I'm like,
kick them out.
they gonna just tell y'all that y'all are part of their country. That's crazy.
That's what the the colonials, like you said, the colonials, the conqueror mindset.
Yeah,
Nope. Now you're a part of our society. Now you have to live like us.
yeah.
That's wild, though. That's literally robbing these houses, saying, "I live here now. You can stay here still,
You
but
can
I
stay
live
here
here
still,
now."
but I live here. My rules go. Like all of the stuff that y'all used to do before I came here. Yeah, put that in the
Nah,
trash.
yeah, it's my
Yeah.
house. Also, I will be taking the master bedroom. You
And you
can
know
have
what? And you know
the.
what y'all doing? Y'all right. This your house. You right. Whatever that man say, that's what we do. That's exactly how y'all sound when y'all having these stupid arguments, talking about this is Black culture. No, it's not. Y'all don't even know what Black culture is. And it's very, very simple because I feel like a Black person who is really in touch with themselves, you know what your culture is, regardless of whether it was
Easily.
passed down or not. When you really are in touch with you, because y'all be promoting all of this, holistic that, and this is how we supposed to do this. Y'all are not even in touch with yourselves because y'all are hateful, and that is not our way. It's not. And we ain't never gonna get nowhere as long as that's what it is. And I'm sick of seeing the arguments. Like, I'm tired of it.
I am too.
Arguing about some stupid stuff like who's supposed to eat first. bro, if you don't shut up and wait your turn to get your food, you gonna eat. It would be something if you didn't get food at all. I understand you
Right.
being mad at that. You still getting your food.
Right.
A child
Go-
get a plate a minute before you, and you having a temper tantrum
Right. Why does that matter to you at all?
because they don't got control,
But
and that's the
people,
only way they feel like they can get it.
I think that's a huge thing. People want that control of them being served first.
Yeah, they
I'm
want to
the
feel important.
I'm the king of this castle.
Man, you live in
That's
a trailer. You
I,
don't even got no castle. You sound
I
stupid.
pay the bills here. It's just like, and
And you're supposed to pay the bills here. If I wasn't here, you would pay the bills here. You're not doing nobody a service by paying bills. We are doing the same thing.
all adults deserving that respect. That is not a respect thing to me. It's feeding you
It's
first.
not.
But then you're gonna take the other disrespect later on if she feeds you your plate first, and then afterwards calls you a dumbass bitch. Oh, that's not that big a deal though. At that point,
At least I get my food, bro. At least you know who run things around here.
Yeah, y'all
Whatever, nigga.
fight over the pettiest, stupid.
Y'all need to
Now I'm not.
grow
I'm not.
up
I'm
and
not.
learn how
I'm not.
to communicate your real feelings. You're not mad because a child got to eat before you, bro. You're mad because you're not in control of anything and you feel like nothing that you're doing matters to anybody. And I get it. But that is not that kid's fault. That's not that woman's fault either. A lot of times it's not.
I guess
Just
it's
be
different
honest.
for me growing up because we kind of all ate at the same times, and at a certain point, it was just me and my sister eating at the table. My mom and dad was eating in front of the TV, so
Or
we
in
got our
their
place.
room or something.
Yeah, we got our plates first, and they ate whenever they felt like it. And at one point, it was just like we all gonna eat whenever we get hungry.
Right. That's how we eat here.
The food ready. Come down, and make your plate when you ready.
Exactly.
You supposed to make. Now I don't fault people that if that's what you like in a relationship and the person is willing to do it, that's that person that willing to make your woman's willing to make their plate for you. That's great. But that's not what you should go into something expecting if that's not what y'all have worked out between each other.
And
That
acting
just
like that because it don't happen, that's crazy. It's not that big of a deal.
I can't remember what podcaster it was that was talking about that where he said his wife didn't make him a plate one time and he just sat there while like waiting for her to make a plate. Just
Like
sat
how I be doing when my mama don't make my food. Hungry. Like,
I
dang,
can't
when she gonna make the food? Oh, waiting. And
I
it's
can't
really it's because it's a habit.
it's a habit.
It's nothing more than that. It's just I'm used to her bringing it. Do my
I'm
mama
not
gotta do that stuff? No, but it makes her happy. She like being a mama. I don't get it, but it's like I get it. If I was a mama, I would be the same way.
for me though, I'm really like I'm not finna wait. Especially like, okay, I'm be the one probably making the plays. So you
But
want me to make
also,
you
my
something?
mama is one of those people that don't want you in her space.
Same.
It's like, this my kitchen. I'm gonna fix the food. You go sit and wait for
I
it.
promise you that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Don't be moving around up in here with me. I'm
Yeah,
not trying to, and then you
my
gotta
mama
run into
is like
somebody.
that.
Come on, move. Just no.
That's how she is. She has her way of doing things, and she don't want nobody else to do it.
Right. But those movies were just one example of how not to do something, an example of how to do something.
Right. But like I said, the simplest question, what's the point? I still don't know why they made that movie.
I think this is more of a podcast slash review.
Yeah, because we talked about, but I feel like reviews can get serious. Like,
True.
talk about some
Yeah.
stuff.
It was
Because I feel like everything have messages in it that you could
yeah.
take from.
Uh, but good movie. Anything's possible. I would definitely
It's
watch it
possible,
again.
yeah.
I would definitely
I
watch
feel
it
like
again.
I watched Secret Society. Was it the first? I think I watched the second one twice because I needed to remember, like, what what
I
happened on there.
I have no desire to ever waste my time and watch
Don't.
that again.
But I watched it because I think I heard Drea and Lex talking about it, and they were talking about like the part about the friend coming back as like the guardian angels and saying that would never happen. I'm like, I'm not going to say it would never happen. It happens. It just doesn't happen it doesn't happen normally. That's not like a normal thing that happens. But it can happen, just not like that. That's not how we call it spirit guides or your guardian angels work. They don't just pop up when you whining about something not going right in your life. That's not what happened. That's not, because you would never learn how to do things on your own if they were always popping up to, hey, you should do this, you should do that, or whatever. They might as well not have to kill her if she was gonna be in there that much.
Right. Right. But if you had nothing else to say about this, to wrap it up, anything's possible. Great movie. The Secret Society 1 and 2. Please don't do a part 3. Please don't do a part
Please
3.
don't.
Please
What
don't.
would they even put in part 3?
More stupid outfits.
More stupid outfits? More of those dumb outfits?
But this has been another episode of Royal Genius Reviews. We're back at it. Full-time reviews, podcasts, all this stuff.
All of the things.
Peace.
Bye.